Question Reality Episode 12. When does existence end? Sometimes you're like, well, one day this will all be over. And then you realize it won't. Then you think about what it would be to not exist. Then you wonder about what the other realm is, or if this is the world forever and you keep respawning. When you die, what happens? Some think that it is the end of your existence, that you cease to exist, that it's the end. The lights turn off, you turn off, game over, forever. Others think you're an eternal being that lives on in various afterlife realms, heaven, hell, purgatory, the Akasha. And yet others think we continuously respawn in life after life, like in video games such as Halo and Call of Duty. All three options have pros and cons. None of the three are fully desirable. Are you sure you want to be an eternal being? Do you really want to exist forever? Are you sure? Everyone wants to feel eternal, to feel immortal. But at some point, don't you just want it all to end? There is no need to sleep when you're not in a body in the afterlife realm. Imagine being awake in the eternal forever. It must get tiring. Imagine having to always be around other souls or always being alone. Is there a balance in the afterlife where you can go off and be alone and then be with others when you feel sociable? Do you even have the need for privacy? What if you are the all, the one? The respawning hell nightmare. I do not want to respawn for all eternity. At least not in the world we all live in with the conditions we are all living in now. In ways, we all have dying to look forward to finally rest. But if we respawn forever, that's terrible. That means the only rest you will ever get is while you're sleeping on Earth as a human. I don't want to eternally respawn. I don't want to respawn a bug or a fish or an animal or a microorganism. I want to be a human. Existence ending with death. Looking at the ceasing to exist one is the hardest one for me to accept because I have memories of where I was before I was here, but I acknowledge this is probably the easiest for many to accept. How and why did you come to be? It just is. And when you die, that's just the end? I think everyone believes in some kind of beyond because if not, why would you follow rules? Why wouldn't you really live each day like it's your last? Why would we build for the future? Why not just get it over with? Although with the animal kingdom and fish, they all kind of do just exist and don't build towards a collective future. It's sad to think the idea that all you have is one life to live, and when it's done, that's it. How could you ever no longer exist? Every option points to eternal damnation. Once you get beyond believing in the solar system and universe and think we're in this eternal realm of reincarnation, respawning, and there is no supernova sun that will explode and engulf the earth billions of years from now, you know, that it's just the same sun and moon that circle the sky forever, and we are all in this ant farm, but respawning, it seems there is no escape. Let's say the sun did engulf the earth, and the earth was no longer here. Where would we respawn to? Other planets? Other realms? What happens when that connection between Earth and the other realm discontinues? All those people in line trying to get here, all those spirits, what happens to them on the other side? You get a brain, but what is a soul made of? Even if your brain is just physical matter, how the heck was it made? And how does it function? Sure, science can offer you an explanation of the brain, but what is your spirit, your soul, your life force? Where is it located? Is it inside your body? If so, where? Let's go back to taking the when you die, that's it premise. I think it's a cop-out, but let's say this is all there is. Let's say this is all there is. It still ignores what the heck is this place. It ignores why. It ignores everything. We know there are different states of consciousness. We know there is a microscopic and nano world. We know there are invisible phenomena such as frequencies and electromagnetics and radiation, etc. This world is so complex. What purpose was your existence? What is this machine? Who made it? Why? Why were you here? What brought you into existence besides intercourse? And does that not blow your mind that that's what brought you into existence? Were you the sperm or were you the egg? I've asked it before. And if you were neither, then who were they? Dead or alive, none of it makes sense. If you accept there are other realms of existence, you then wonder about the one we are in. What the heck is it? And why? And where? And when? And how? If it's this realm that we continuously respawn into, that there is no outer space, that we're in a gigantic building of sorts, that's one thing. To ask who built it isn't enough, because there is this realm, there is the afterlife realm, there are realms within the realms, and we asked before, what is base world? But who built all of these realms, and why? And how did they interconnect them? Where did our spirit originate from to be placed into our body? And how did it travel from one dimension into this one? Why does this realm exist? Why do the other realms exist? And I'm not asking what's the meaning of life. We still have no idea what the heck any of this is. Whether you're on Earth or in another realm, the world we are living in right now is way more bewildering than the eternal. Because this realm, if you take the people and the animals out of the picture, kind of like when we think of planets that have no life on it, you then say why. If life wasn't here, why would this realm be here? Why would there be an empty realm? And when you think of these empty planets, there's all these empty planets. Like let's say you believe the outer space planets are real. And when you see that there's these planets and there's no life on them, do you feel like what a waste? What a waste of a perfectly good planet, a perfectly good other realm? And then you ask, why is the middle of the Sahara Desert there? Why is the middle of the uninhabited Antarctic there? Why is the middle of the ocean there? I know. Whales get to live too. Microorganisms are everywhere. Believe it or not, this is not for waxing philosophical. I have no interest in waxing philosophical. I am trying to get these questions into your mind so when you're in those states of consciousness where you're connected to the other realm, you'll have some questions to ponder in the back of your mind to guide you. Whether we live on Earth or a realm, we presume there are other dimensions to existence that we outlined in Question Reality Episode 6. This isn't to sound deep. If you think about what the average person thinks about and talks about, they are missing out on the greatest pursuit. The pursuit is to figure out what the heck all of this is. There are some video games that are so vast that we appreciate the depth the programmers and graphics artists put into it. But no video game even comes close to the depth and complexity to our world. I've taken college astronomy, but I'm not sold anymore. If you remove outer space from the equation, that it doesn't exist, how much does that change your perspective? Outer space and its vastness causes people to throw their hands up and quit because there is just too much to know. Once you think you have it all figured out on Earth, now you got to figure out Mars. Now you got to figure out planets that have completely different physics engines than the ones you're used to on Earth, with different properties, perhaps with additional elements that we never knew about. But if you remove outer space from existing, and this realm is all there is, what the heck is it? In Earth Space Science class, we were taught the formation of planets. But let's say there is no space. Let's say there was no formation of planets. Let's say you don't have the formation of planets to explain how Earth got here. How did Earth get here? And let's say it's not a planet, but either an infinite plane or a realm. How did it get here? And what is it sitting upon? What is below 8 miles deep? Is there a way out of the machine? Scientists are running experiments to figure out how the machine that we are in works. They are testing the physics engine. If we are in this machine, Why? And how do we get out? Do we want to get out? Did we choose to come into the machine? What is death? What is life? When does existence end? Do you want it to end? Do you want to live eternally? Do you want to exist eternally? Forever and ever? Do you want to respawn forever? Do you want to continuously come back here? Do you want to live in the beyond? What if you can't sleep there? When does it end? Is there an end? In the other realm, do we even understand the concepts of the beginning and the end? Do they even matter if it's the eternal now? Do you really want to be in the eternal now? Do you like finality, conclusiveness? That's also depressing though. I don't want it to end, but I also don't want it to go on forever, even beyond this lifetime. I don't want to think that I could ever cease to exist. But then again, I don't want to exist forever. And I want to be able to come back to existence, not necessarily on Earth, but I don't want to completely turn off. How could I someday not exist? I exist now. And abandon all religion, abandon whatever people have told you, whatever form, whether it's science, even the New Age. Abandon everything you've ever been told about the afterlife or the beyond. Think about your own existence. Sure, right now you're alive as a human, but then when you pass on to the next realm, obviously you won't have a physical body, but do you want to be an eternal being where there's no end? But then if you wanted it to end, do you really want to cease to exist, to never be ever again? And it's not to be a person or a human or even a creature on planet Earth, realm Earth, whatever you call this place, but whatever. To be turned off, to no longer exist. What is it to no longer exist? All you know is existing. When you sleep, you still dream. You still know you're there. I'll say this though. I did have 2 surgeries, both of which required anesthesia. The first time I didn't think about it. The second time I actively tried to recall my memories of while I was not conscious, and I have none. And I tried to remember, and I tried to be in the moment. I blacked out, and then I woke up later, and it was like they put my spirit on hold. It was like I wasn't even in purgatory, like where you'd be waiting. It was like I wasn't. It was like I wasn't. I got to look up what's in anesthesia, what it actually does. Does anybody remember being put under anesthesia? And if they recall dreaming, did you dream? Did you have any memories of whatever? It was like I was just put on pause. There was no memories. There's like a blacked out period. But this is Question Reality episode 12. When does existence end? Let me know your stories. Nobody's going to judge you here. I make these videos so that it encourages others to feel okay thinking along these lines. The 5th insight of the Celestine Prophecy says that we have to exchange these encounters of the paranormal and have discussions about the metaphysical. Because if we've been trained not to, you got to wonder why. There are a lot of Looney Tunes out there, though, that kind of ruin it for everybody else. But still, there's a lot we can learn by sharing our experiences of the metaphysical, because everybody seems to have their own experience. May the force be with you. This is Jonathan Lippy. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you're subscribed. I'll see you in the next one.